When your JIRA administrator configured Wittified's Delegated Admin Pro add-on, they identified who can select or modify schemes for a project, allowing those users to do routine project administration themselves without having to go through a JIRA administrator. For this video, let's assume that the administrator configured it to say that users with project administration capability can do delegated administration. Let's see how it works. I'm logged onto JIRA as a user who is an administrator of the DemoWare development project. This means that the delegated administration screens are available to this user on this project and any other for which he is the project administrator. To access the delegated administration screen, click this icon, or this link if you've expanded the sidebar. This screen shows all the scheme types this user is allowed to work with. Each section names the scheme that is currently being used with the project. You'll notice that each scheme type has 2 to 3 buttons available. The buttons shown are based on how the JIRA administrator has configured Delegated Admin Pro, but each type of button works the same no matter which scheme it is on. Let's start with the Select button. The Select button allows you to select a different scheme to use with the project. It shows once again the scheme currently in use. Click the I'm Sure button to proceed with a change. This screen lists each available scheme. Click the View button to see more information about any of those schemes to ensure you know which one is the one you want to use. Once you've identified the new scheme you want to use, click Select. This screen confirms the scheme change was completed. Just for good measure, let's switch to yet another permission scheme. Now let's look at the History button. This shows each change that has been made. Next to each is a rollback link that allows you to back out that change. You do not have to roll back changes in the order in which they occurred. Let's roll back the very first change. Now if we click History again, we can see that we're back to the first permission scheme we had, and even that action can now be rolled back. Now let's take a look at modifying a scheme. You'll notice that only the issue type, permission, and notification schemes have a Modify button. These are the only types of schemes that support this capability. Modifying a scheme means that a copy will be made of the current scheme so that you can then edit it as needed. Supply a name for the copy of the scheme, and then click Confirm. Notice that the Select and History buttons have been replaced with 2 other buttons, Edit and Revert. Click Edit to make changes to this new scheme copy. This editor window looks a lot like what JIRA administrators see when they edit a scheme. For this particular type of scheme, you'd click the appropriate Delete link to remove a notification, or click the appropriate Add Notification link to add a notification. Those changes go into effect right away, no need to click Save. When you're through making changes, click Close. This scheme copy remains in effect until either someone with delegated administration capability reverts back to using the previous scheme, or a JIRA administrator updates the project to use a different scheme. Let's click Revert. It asks you to confirm you want to proceed with this change, noting that the project will be associated with a default scheme if there was no explicit scheme previously associated with a project. If you click History again, then you can see that it reflects the change, referring to the scheme copy as Unknown Notification Scheme since it has been deleted, and because it has been deleted, there is no rollback capability. Delegated Admin Pro for JIRA allows non-admins to do the routine project maintenance of switching schemes or editing certain schemes to better fit their needs. This puts more control in the hands of the audience that needs it, prevents delays associated with waiting for a JIRA administrator to become available, and provides protections to ensure that the delegated administration can be done safely. Visit Atlassian Marketplace today to start a free trial of Wittified's Delegated Admin Pro for JIRA add-on.